our weekly PPACA webinars. For those of you that are new to our webinars, just a few housekeeping items. If you do want to ask a question, you can either raise your hand by clicking on the little hand icon to the left of your screen on your control panel, or you can simply type in a question on the question box and we'll answer those questions at the end of the webinar. We really have a full program today, lots of information, and I do anticipate that as we get closer to November 15th, which is the open enrollment or the opening of the annual enrollment period for under 65 health, that we'll have a lot more information coming in rapid fire. So as always, I appreciate you tuning in, and without further delay, we'll get started. A lot of you have been asking about solutions, web broker and our enrollment portal, and what we're going to be able to offer to make your lives easier for the FFM enrollment in 2015 enrollments. And we will have a solution. We're going to be getting some information out. The real struggle is that a lot of the plans, in fact, most of the carriers' plans have not yet been approved for the 1/1 effective date. So every portal or every solution, online enrollment solution, is going to be faced with the same issues. The carrier information is not available, not approved. So it's really going to come down to the wire on getting those plans loaded. But we will have at least one solution, possibly more. We're exploring a variety of options while we're also building through EVIX our web broker portal. We're exploring a lot of options for on exchange, on and off exchange, the direct enrollment through the carriers, a variety of pricing options. So you're in the right place for your individual health insurance for sure, because we are embracing this. We have always embraced this model, and we'll have a solution for you. So just try to be patient, and as soon as we can get that information out to you, we will. The next bullet point is on the NEPA individual renewal notices. We did just get some information that all of the medically underwritten programs that are currently on the books will be sent withdrawal letters, and although they are required by the state to send the notices out 90 days in advance, the renewal notices are going to include the ACA option. So they are being held up by CMS and will not be able to distribute anything to their members until November. So next month, your clients that are currently with Blue Cross of Northeastern PA are going to have letters talking about their health plans, their medically underwritten health plans terminating, and I would expect that you'd want to be a little bit proactive, or a lot proactive, in reaching out to these folks and letting them know that they can rely on you to get them coverage for 1/1. And off-exchange enrollment will also receive a renewal notice, and again includes the CMS mandated piece. So we'll get copies of those when they're available, and of course we'll share them either through the webinar and most definitely through my weekly newsletter. The next bullet point is CAP Blue Cross, the medically underwritten programs that are currently on the books. They are going to be on the books and retain their medical program as is until at least 12/31 of 2015. So CAP Blue Cross, for those plans that we all wrote prior to 1/1 of 14, they will stay on the books, and what they're going to do is they're going to evaluate that annually, but at least for 2015 they got a pass. So they are going to stay on the books. The next bullet point is we actually have a guest speaker, and I'm sure many of you have reached out to Steve or talked with Steve and his team, Brad Raymer, among others, through Prime Pay throughout the years. And one of the real hot topics for this year with employers, large and small, that offer employer-sponsored health and welfare benefits is the ERISA issue, where the Department of Labor has come out and said they're going to, do audits on these groups, and if they don't have their summary of plan documents on file, then there could be some hefty fines. So we're really happy to have Steve Jackson with us here. He's going to talk about the ERISA program that I've been talking about being released for a couple months now. It is finally released, and the information will be in our newsletter next week, so you'll be able to gather all the information. But I thought it was important enough to invite Steve onto this webinar to just kind of give a few minutes and an update on the program and why we feel that it's definitely worth looking into to not only save your clients from the audits, but also to keep yourself compliant as well, and do the service for the agent as a consultant. So while I was doing all that, I was multitasking, as you can see, not very well, trying to get Steve as the presenter. So I'm going to hand over the controls to Steve now. And Steve, again, thank you so much for joining us. Can you hear us, Steve? All right, so let's see what's going on. Why? Oh, I don't know what happened. It looks like we lost Steve. So I tell you what, we'll, boy, I don't know what to do here because he's no longer on the, oh, there he is, Steve Jackson. Let's see here. Okay, it looks like, Steve, I'm not sure why we can't hear you. Because you are, okay, maybe there.
Hey, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
I kept trying to send you a note, to unmute, so no problem.
Technology and I just do not get along sometimes.
Yeah, it's okay. Can you see the screen then okay?
We can, yes.
Okay, fantastic. So I heard all of that, so I'll go right into my my little piece. Good morning, everybody. I'm thrilled to at least be a part of the kind of this webcast here this morning, just to share a little bit of insight, and it will be quick. I want to just kind of gloss over a few things here with you so that you understand kind of what we're talking about here this morning. But as you know, and as Deb has mentioned probably time and time again, ERISA, which has been on the books now for quite a very long time, is something that is now becoming much more critical due to ACA. ACA has put this kind of target now on the enforcement of ERISA. And so just briefly, I just want to touch on a few things here with you. We're thrilled, PrimePay is thrilled, to finally be able to bring to you and for your clients an ERISA wrap document solution. And there's a reason for it, and it's a reason why we've kind of devoted so much time and financial resources, made such a commitment to compliance, and it's because of this. We see that our clients, thinking about the top challenges for businesses, what they deal with time and time again is just, you see there the third thing is staying compliant. And actually, if we put that on you as a broker, as an agent, as an agency, you guys are trying to find more ways to be able to provide that advice, to help your clients mitigate that risk and stay compliant with so many of these regulations. So when you think about ERISA and this is kind of, well, actually I should say, so that's a reason why we responded to this, because we here at PrimePay have seen about a 300% increase in the number of audits. These are federal audits, generally speaking, and it's not just on ERISA. It's not just on Section 125 plans or Section 105 plans. These audits are occurring at a much more rapid pace. And so we wanted to ensure that if 3 out of 4 of all of your clients are out of compliance with ERISA, we wanted to be able to develop a solution for you that you could take to your clients to ensure that specific compliance would be fulfilled. So just very quickly, and I know Deb has mentioned this here a little bit, think of this. We've all thought about ERISA probably in a retirement plan focus, but a lot less on the health and welfare benefit side of the aisle because it hasn't been enforced. But if you think about ERISA, think about the compliance behind ERISA. It's really about disclosures, notices, summary plan descriptions. It's that document kind of behind the scenes that's basically saying to the employer, okay, the IRS, under ERISA, Department of Labor, they've said, listen, we're going to give you some great benefits by offering a health and welfare benefit to your employees, but if you're going to do so, I'm going to need you to document that or develop a plan appropriate and one that follows our regulations. And so that's ERISA. It flows under any health and welfare benefit plan. It's going to cover all the major health and welfare benefit plans or group-sponsored plans out there, from medical. You see that all the way down to voluntary, but wellness, employee assistance programs. But also don't forget, health FSAs, HRAs still flow under that ERISA requirement. So as you get into, some of the ERISA, all right, so my employer offers a group benefit plan, so what are they supposed to receive or get? Probably the most important document is the summary plan description, and I would bet that if you were to ask all of your clients, hey, have you delivered your SPD, your ERISA SPD to your employees? Most of them might say, what SPD? When was I supposed to do that? I mean, that's going to be the common response that you will receive. But the summary plan description is that employee piece that shares with the participant virtually all of the disclosures and notices they're going to need to receive under ERISA. Also summaries of material modification, a summary annual report if a 5500 filing would be required, but then just additional things like SBCs, summary of benefit coverages, and then additional notices under HIPAA, claim procedures, and the like. So ERISA is very comprehensive, right? There is a lot other than just maybe one document. It's really that ongoing disclosure and notice that truly applies. You may not have many clients here that need 5500, but note that that would be a requirement if a particular employer had 100 or more participants covered at the beginning of a plan year. And so a 5500 requirement is a part of that as well. The failure of noncompliance, I think you guys probably all get that from the messaging and discussion that Deb has provided here over the last several months just in regard to ERISA. The fines are real. And as much as we don't want to create so much FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt with an employer, it is something that needs to be stated if you're doing your due diligence correctly with your employer groups. The last thing I just want to touch on here is I want you to look at that middle one here, the $17,475 penalty. An employer failed to produce an SPD to a participant thinking that a certificate of insurance was enough. Wow, okay. I think a lot of employers feel that what the carriers, what the insurance companies have provided was enough. That provides them the documentation needed, at least under ERISA, and that covers them. But it does not. Generally speaking, a certificate of insurance is not anywhere near close to what an SPD should ultimately provide. So just, some simple things, and a lot of these are geared right towards just a standard summary plan description that should be handed out and provided to the employees. So some things that I want to touch on. We're excited about this. PrimePay is thrilled to be able to provide really a full ERISA service to your clients to ensure that they are compliant under ERISA. We're covering these key things, right? So plan document. We'll be able to personalize or customize each ERISA umbrella or wrap plan document to fit the needs of your clients. And then, of course, the summary plan description will be customized clearly for their needs. If there were changes ongoing throughout the year and at renewal, certainly an SMM, summary of material modification, would be created. Annual notices and disclosures, all notices and disclosures under ERISA will be provided. And then Form 5500 filing and the summary of annual report is there as well, optionally, as needed by the client. So why Prime Pay? I don't know why. So we've put a lot of effort behind it. I know Deb has had mentioned this, I think, a little while ago, and so there's been a slight delay on our end. But I will just say that extra time and effort has actually improved and customized the process even better. So we're thrilled to bring you this complete solution. Our solution will satisfy all ERISA requirements under health and welfare benefits for your clients. Clearly, an ERISA wrap document program does simplify not only the amendment process, but simplifies really the documentation risk process by having one wrap document that encompasses all of the health and welfare benefit plans, reduces a lot of the documentation, administration, and so forth needed, or the risk that you forgot something. Yeah, I should have included this or that plan, and kind of putting everything together, it kind of eliminates that specific risk. Clearly, working with Prime Pay as with our other TPA services, we are independent of carrier selection. We're carrier agnostic. The employer can switch their plans as needed based on their needs, and will adapt accordingly their documents to fit their various needs. We also are providing an ERISA guarantee, Prime Pay guarantee, and there's always a lot of guarantees out there, but we're putting our stamp here on a guarantee that for your clients, we guarantee that your benefit or that your client's benefit documents will be compliant with ERISA, and it's going to include all mandatory ERISA plan provisions, all mandatory disclosures under COBRA, USERRA, HIPAA, you name it, the other federal mandates such as even mental health parity, minimum hospital stays following childbirth. I mean, we're going to be very comprehensive with that, and we will also guarantee to address the recent changes under health reform. So your clients, as they would take on, hopefully we could earn their business, we will ensure that their benefit plans are ERISA compliant. Other key things is our expert. We have hired here an ERISA attorney that is on our team. He actually had worked with the Department of Labor, actually helping to write ACA, and he is part of our team and is overseeing our department on ERISA, and so we're thrilled to have his level of expertise as part of our overall solution. And then lastly is all-inclusive fees. And so one of the things, and let me just touch on a couple of the fees. For whatever reason, I didn't put the slide up there on the fees, so that's interesting. Let me do this. Let me switch this over. Hang on, I'll do it quickly. There we go. So just real quick on the fees so you guys can kind of get at least a quick snapshot. So number of employees, based on a tiered number of employees, we have the fees are very simple. We have a one-time setup fee, all right, and an annual fee. So you see there groups of 1 to 49, and ERISA is a requirement for all size groups. Any employer that is offering a health or welfare benefit plan would need to comply here under ERISA. So 1 to 49 would be $750 there, as you can see, and then 50 to 99, 250, and the 850, so 1,100, and so on and so forth. Groups under 100, really no need generally for any type of 5,500 filing fee. Could happen, but very rare. So that 275 and the 5,500 is optional, just based on the needs of a particular situation with a client. So lastly, we do have some extra tools that we can provide to you. We have an audit compliance checklist that you could sit with your client and go through a checklist to just say, hey, let's find out what you have done to date in regard to ERISA. So that is available to you. We've got a lot of other kind of flyers and different things that you can utilize. But I will say this: we're thrilled to be able to finally bring this to you. It has been something that you as a broker certainly have been asking for, and we trust that you will seek out PrimePay to help your clients in fulfilling this huge compliance requirement that needs to be filled. So Deb, thanks so much for having us on, and you can connect certainly with Brad Raymer with questions in regard to ERISA. So thank you, Deb.
Well, thank you, Steve. I really do appreciate it, and maybe he was just a little bit shy in saying too that this is a commissionable product. So I do encourage you to reach out to me, to reach out to Brad. Again, this information is going to be in the newsletter, so you're going to get all of this information, but it's very, very important to at least talk to your clients about it because you want to keep them compliant. And trust me, business owners should know this, but I would say probably about 99% do not. And they're going to look to you for that advice, and it would be remiss of you not to at least mention it. So, Steve, if you and Brad don't mind hanging on until the end, I'm sure we'll get some questions, and I'd be happy to have you answer them if you have some time.
All right, thank you. Yep.
All right, great. Okay, so everyone sees my screen again. We're just going to talk briefly about the Highmark important information in this bullet point. I did send out a separate blast with Highmark about the producer talking points for the individual plans for the under 65 market. There's a lot of valuable information in there, including a 2015 health insurance planning guide for both Central and Western. There's a copy of the letters that your insureds are going to be getting. Most importantly, you'll see that as we've been talking about, their plans and prices will not be released until November 15th. And that's not out of the norm. That's when we can expect this information. But I encourage you to look at this information because it's going to be part of your selling portfolio, if you will, starting November 15th. Also, not only planting the seed and talking to your clients about ERISA, you definitely, with all of the 12-1 group renewals coming up, you need to absolutely plant the seed about the ancillary and supplemental programs. I did show you a link last week for Sam Bohr and his offerings. There's a submission checklist. There's a diagnostic form, which I think is very useful for you when you're talking to employers about what they have and what they don't, and if it can come up. I mean, it really just it allows you to ask the questions that would possibly allow you to get in and get this separate portion of their business or the other portion of their business. Again, it's commissionable, which is not necessarily the driving factor, of course, but the real value is that as these deductibles get higher and the pricing increases and the deductibles are forced to be even higher, it's imperative to offer some sort of underlying plan, and that's really where Sam is going to come in and help you retain that group and offer something that is beneficial and affordable. So just be mindful of that, and also they're setting up a webinar. Sam is, so you'll be able to log on to that, and when I have more details, of course, that will be in my newsletter. The URL's Cap Blue Cross seminar is still set for October 29th at the Colonial Golf and Tennis Club. It's set to take place from 9 to 11. Again, I don't know that they're going to be able to share a lot of specific details about the plan, but I do think it's important for those of you in the 21 county area to come and meet the people that you're doing business with for Cap Blue Cross and talk about their platform for 2015. Online tracking procedure for FFM biz. I started talking about this, gosh, maybe it was March. There's a real disconnect, which we did not initially expect, from an application that is submitted through healthcare.gov to the time we get the commission data feed and recognize that case as yours. The real danger, not only in the delay, is that for those cases that you wrote that your NPN number was dropped and the carrier has no idea that you own that business, that's where we really want to be more proactive. So we are going to be coming out with an online tracking procedure where you can essentially upload an Excel spreadsheet or just type in the information of your SFM enrollments, maybe on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis. That way your case managers can be a little bit more proactive in helping you, claim that case as your own, and also to verify that the carrier has that information. Again, the real danger is Blue Cross of Northeastern PA has a 90-day requirement. So if you have a 3/1 effective date, you have 90 days from that effective date to check that the case is at Blue Cross of Northeastern PA and that you are recognized as the agent of record, and if not, get in that BOR or authorization form. If you don't within that 90 days, then that's going to be considered a direct sale, which, commission is low, but commission is commission. You want to claim those policies. So just be mindful that we're trying to be a bit more proactive in helping you help us claim those cases. Other training, I mentioned last week, and again, this is in my newsletter. Highmark Blue Shield is having their fall strategy session. That's set for Monday, October 27th at the Hershey Lodge from 8 to 11:30. Cat Blue Cross is also having a rollout November 4th from 9 to 12 at the Hershey Country Club. November 5th from 1 to 4 at the Cat Blue Cross retail store in Lehigh Valley. And they're also following up with webinars November 6th, 11th, and 12th. We did get the official invitation just this morning, so pardon me, that will be in our newsletter this week as well. So if you're interested in signing up for any of those training dates, please take some time and look under product training for in the newsletter to sign up. And without further delay, I'm sure we have several questions, and we're going to open that up now to the questions. Well, we don't have as many as I thought. Actually, we have no questions. Isn't that interesting? I'm not sure why, but let me just redock this and dock it back. Boy, I tell you, it's a day with technology for me, isn't it? So it does look like we don't have any. What's that, Steve?
You're doing great, Deb.
Yeah, well, I battle with these systems daily, and they typically turn out as the winner. But I'll just mention that I, again, appreciate everyone signing in every week. We try to provide as much information to help you in your daily lives as possible with this convoluted PPACA law that we have to deal with. So as always, I truly appreciate all of your participation. Steve, and Brad, I truly appreciate our partnership, and hopefully everyone on the webinar this morning and the information that will follow will find value not only in your ERISA products, but all of the other TPA products. And one thing to mention too, PrimePay does payroll and HRAs, HSAs, etc., HR advisory. I mean, there's a lot of things that they do that maybe you're not aware of. But one thing you should be aware of is they do not compete with you. Even though they are, at their core, a payroll company, unlike ADP and Paychex, they do not go out and sell health insurance. They are your supplement. They're your partner. They are not your competitor. So that's very important to mention. Looks like Brad has his hand raised. So let me unmute Brad. Maybe he has something to say. Brad, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I just wanted to just throw one thing out there as we're coming into the busy season. If anybody wants or is planning on proposing to a client an HRA and or FSA/HSA, whatever they are, feel free to reach out to me now, even before you get your renewals, I can always put proposals together that you'll just have on file, and then we're not chasing down each other when we get really crazy. So, and, you know, still a good time if anybody wants to go over, has any questions about HRAs or anything like that, as well as the new ERISA. I'm always available to come out to your office, and I'm always available to go out with you to clients to help present an HRA or something like that. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Thanks, Brad. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to get a better group of people to work with than PrimePay. They've really done, they've been great partners for us. So please utilize their services, not just for, you know, adding value to your business model, but, you know, to keep your group customers compliant. So again, without further delay, I'm going to end our webinar now. Next webinar is set for Thursday the 16th at 9:30. As always, I appreciate your partnership and your business, and have a great rest of the week and a wonderful weekend. Thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Deb.